This is what you might have missed on BCSN's Sports Nightly. The Eastern Conference Finals did not play out like the Toledo Walleye had hoped, but what an incredible season for Toledo hockey. The architect of it all, head coach Derek Lalonde, could be promoted in the very near future if the scenario plays out as speculated. I sat down with Coach Lalonde the day he was hired. Today, we do it again, but with different wardrobe and some new questions. All right, I want to take you back to June 2nd last year. The Walleye announced you as their new head coach. That's 1 year ago today. June 3rd, we were out on the stage in the middle of this arena. You were officially introduced. We had a chance to sit down much like this. And I want to read you a quote. I asked you about your goals for year one, and you said, quote, "Our goal is to establish a culture of success here." I think the fans who came out all season would say you succeeded at that.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we first talked, I was confident that we could do something good here. And what I saw in place and what I thought this could be, I was very confident. We laugh now, but Joe Napoli, shortly after hiring me, he goes, "I really like it." He goes, "You're really cocky, but extremely nice." And I never wanted to come off that way. I was very confident on what this could be because of what was in place. And our goal was just to establish a culture of success, and that's all we concentrated on early on. And I think the league championship, the North Division championship, the taking to the last game in the conference finals, I think that all stemmed from that culture of success. So yes, we have it here. Guys that are returning next year, guys that will recruit into this organization, guys that will sign next year, guys that are coming down from Detroit or Grand Rapids know there's a culture of success already established here. So yeah, absolutely, we established that culture of success.
Also on that day, June 3rd last year, at your introductory press conference, I asked you goals for year one, and another one you said was to make the playoffs. Now, going by your tone of voice then, make the playoffs, it seemed to me, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but it seemed to me making the playoffs, just getting there, that's a great step in year one. You made the playoffs. You played 21 postseason games. You were an overtime goal away from going to the finals. Did you succeed and maybe exceed those expectations?
We certainly exceeded those expectations. I meant it. I thought it was a realistic goal just to make the playoffs. First and foremost, our North Division is extremely difficult, and only 4 of these 7 teams were going to make the playoffs. Very difficult to be one of those 4 teams. The second thing that went into that was our goals did change once we got around Christmas. We were pretty comfortable. It would have been an absolute disaster, and we were going to make the playoffs. It was just a matter of how we were playing going into the playoffs. So that was a realistic goal, and the fact that we only returned 2 players from the previous team, we had to start from scratch. Not only start from scratch, we're also a recruit-based league where you have to sign players, and it's very hard starting from the bottom and signing guys from the bottom. It's much more easier, come to South Carolina, come to Florida, come to Kalamazoo, come to Fort Wayne, establish programs, come to Cincinnati. So those at that time were realistic goals, but of course we well exceeded that original goal, just making the playoffs.
That just the tip of the iceberg of that interview with Derek Lalonde. Much more throughout the week, and coming up tomorrow, I ask him the question, will you be here next year? The way the rumors have been going, Jeff Blashill from Grand Rapids going to take over Detroit. Lalonde going to go to Grand Rapids, so he'll address that tomorrow.
Grand Rapids lost tonight.
Yeah.
They are out of the Calder Cup playoffs, so those wheels could be in motion here very quickly if, like we said, everything follows the speculation.
A lot of people have been inquiring about his services, not just in the Red Wings organization.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Be sure to watch Sports Nightly weeknights at 10:30 on BCSN and follow us on Twitter at @sports_nightly.